A pleasant, good evening. I'm very, very sorry to all my fans out there. We have been attacked, sad to say. This is Gavin Batista at the Prosperity Channel. Somebody almost destroyed this whole video system several weeks ago, and they are very, very, not only unprofessional, they're very Chinese, that manipulated the lighting effects, etc., of this video camera. This is a Canon video camera. And we are on an emergency status, meaning to say we would like to be very clear that our business is exploding, especially the medical hotels. We are going to build the first one, 49 floors, and we have been copied. But as usual, the copycats simply robbed this particular video machine and manipulated, would you believe, the lighting effects. But let me go straight to the point. We are tying up with a major TV studio, and this will be broadcasted all over the world. Okay? So we are talking to several entrepreneurs, bankers, and certified billionaires here in America to make sure that more people will be educated, or should I say trained, on what is the latest out there when it comes to prosperity, and prosperity based on long-term health. So I'd like to be very clear. A lot of people are trying to associate with me, and I'm trying to say, sorry, Charlie, you're not part of the team. So I'd like to be very clear to the group of Metro Bank, Arthur T. and Mr. Alfred T. If you have any questions out there to the T group, go direct to me. So there's no miscommunication, you know. I am a hardcore professional of the highest standard you can imagine. And I remember I was in your office, well, in your what is this? Building in Ayala Avenue. That was way back in 1992 or 93. And I was trying to congratulate then a person by the name of Carmelo Luza Bautista, but I was rejected. But anyway, that was what, 1992, 93, 94, somewhere in that area. But the bottom line is there's so much confusion right now in the banking world, and it is very obvious that I already invented the latest banking formula that will make banks extremely profitable and not depend on worthless economists that keep on rattling certain forecasts that are not based on reality and not based on actual new systems focusing on profitability that is sustainable. So to Alfred and Arthur T., all you have to do is give me a call and I will make sure you will be informed on what is the latest out there. Because what's happening right now is that people steal, literally, as I said a while ago, steal my video camera, steal my endless Lenovo Yoga laptop computers. They copy it, and at the end of the day, sabi nga sa Tagalog, Mr. T, Mr. Alfred T, and Mr. Arthur T wala na naman. Just like when I was with a company called Procter and Gamble, there is a person out here right now by the name of Oscar Reyes who keeps on extorting information from my wife named Nancy to Bujanoy. They extort information, and I don't know if they sell it all the way to Cincinnati, and then nothing happens. So it's very sad. Because as I was telling my connections here in the Midwest, that would be Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and the list goes on. I was able to resurrect from bankruptcy all types of Procter & Gamble food products from bankruptcy. And believe me, they were great products. The quality was perfect. But what happened? As usual in the Philippines, Filipinos love politics. Okay? Pag malakas ka kay boss, pag malakas ka kay general manager, ayos ka na. And that cannot happen in the United States of America. As we say, the Philippines is a good training ground. But that's about it. America is non-stop performance, and Americans love performers. The ability to deliver all-time high net profits. And so I'd like to be very clear to Mr. Alfred T. and Mr. Arthur T. By the way, I never met the T brothers, but it is very clear that the surrogates of the T group of companies are here in Oklahoma wanting to know what is the latest when it comes to banking, when it comes to prosperity, sustained policies that will make banking institutions, or should I say financial institutions, very profitable. So let me get to the meat of the matter. Because there was a guy, would you believe, by the name of Tefe Nano. I think the guy went all the way from the Philippines to Guymon, Oklahoma, which is a boom town right now because of so many big companies there right now. But out of deference, out of delicadeza, I would rather not name these companies at this point in time. But this is what I'm going to tell you. If you think Tefe Nano, okay, will reinvent the wheel and solve the problems of food security in the Philippines, I'm telling you right now, Butch Alejo of San Miguel Foods, why don't you just simply give me a call so we can present the latest to President BBM, President Bongbong Marcos. By the way, BBM, a lot of people don't know what BBM stands here. It means Bongbong Marcos, because you will be shocked as to what they define BBM. I said, it's President Bongbong Marcos. That is his nickname. So, to President Bongbong Marcos, if you're listening to me right now, Mr. President, we can solve food security overnight by coming out with a test market in Manila, no less than Mayor Isko Moreno, para makita ng buong mundo kung gaano kagaling itong sistemang ito para ma-address, how do you say it in the Filipino vernacular, para masolba finally itong tinatawag na food security. So, what do you exactly mean by food security? Food security is being able to address food supply. Okay? It's called supply side economics. You must master this, and you must create a system of productivity for all Filipino entrepreneurs, and the most important thing would be the Filipino backyard racers. Because it is in backyard racing where we can finally say we can address food security. And to tell you how strong I am in this issue, and I know it from A to Z, that's why I am shocked why in 2019, Tefe Nano, I never met him, by the way, no, where, alam mo naman si Dr. Martin Bautista, very galante yan, no? Maski sino from the Philippines were very, galante, in American parlance, because there are so many Americans wanting to know about the Prosperity Channel. Galante means, in the American vernacular, hospitable, warm hospitality. And we're talking about 6 years already and counting. And up to now, nothing is happening. In fact, the problems on food security is compounding. So, I have a list here for newly elected Isko Moreno, na palagay ko na nakawin na naman ito ni Wendell Armanagat, who keeps on pestering my very own wife, Nancy Tubujan Uy, about what is the latest. So, you don't have to rely with these animals anymore, because it has come on a crisis mode. So, ito ang sasabihin ko kay Mayor Isko Moreno, which, by the way, congratulations, Mayor. Sagot ko na yung supply, no? Sundin lang yung budget para mabayaran to. Sapagkat, Mayor Isko, you are hailed, honored, saluted by so many Americans on what you have done in the past by resurrecting Manila from the grave. So, before we cut short with our time, because so many people are waiting for this video. By the way, this is, the well-lighted video. First class na manok, broiler chicken, na rotisserie, na palagay ko mas maganda pa sa rotisserie. Sapagkat yung pagluto ko ng manok nung panahon na nasa San Miguel Feeds and Livestock Division ako, talagang ubod ng sarap. In fact, yung sarsa nito, talo pa yung sarsa ni Mang Tomas. Okay? May atsara pa ito. May 2 cup ng Milagrosa na bigas. At isang family size ng Coca-Cola. Malamig na masarap na Coca-Cola. Okay? At may dessert pa. At yung dessert na ito ay isang what is this? Banana, what do you call this? A dessert which is isang saging, Banana is very, very good for the heart, the skin, the eyes, everything. Banana is the new miracle fruit. So, what I just told you, Mayor Isko Moreno, of course, CC, President Bongbong Marcos, is good for 50,000 people. 50,000. And this is because of the budget system. If the new budget system will be followed, not the old one, hindi yung sinusundan nyo ngayon dyan sa Manila. Kalokohan yan. Niloloko kayo ng mga ng mga budget na nagrurunong-runungan dyan. Kaya nakaaway si President BBM, fondly called Bongbong Marcos. By the way, I'd like to address that issue. He is fondly called as Bongbong Marcos, no? Together with Vice President Sara Duterte, is because it's not their fault. it is the fault of the budget secretary. Parati na lang walang budget, kulang ang budget. Panahon pa ni Cory Aquino yan. Panahon pa ni Estrada, kaya napatalsik yung ama ni dakilang senador Jingo Estrada. Kaya gulo-gulo parati. Puro gulo na lang. Sapagkat mali-mali yung budget system at mali-mali yung tamang pagresolba nito sa pamamagitan ng tamang sistema sa internal audit at external audit. Okay? So, I'd like to be very clear again. This can be solved overnight. At kung kailangan nating iharap pa dyan yung dalawang dakilang senador, yung nanalo na from nowhere, no? Talo na, siguradong talo na, but sinuportahan namin ng todo dito sa Estados Unidos at sa ibang lugar sa buong mundo, mga OFWs. It means to say overseas contract workers. Sinuportahan namin si Senator Amy Marcos. And to balance things off, at sigurado na rin almost talo nung umpisa pa yan, si Senator, ang pinakamarunong na senador palagi ko ngayon, ay walang iba kung hindi si Senator Bam Aquino. So nandyan si Presidente Marcos, nandyan si VP Sara Duterte, nandito sa kaliwa si Senator Amy Marcos, Senator Bam Aquino. So it's a coalition. At ipepresenta ko kung paano gawin yung budget, at mula sa budget savings, gaya sinabi ko sa inyo, mula sa isang napakasarap na isang buong manok hanggang sa masarap na isang family size na Coca-Cola pa. Ha? At may dessert pa ng banana, saging, isang saging. Sa isang tao lang ito, hindi pamilya, isang tao lang. Palagay ko, I can prove that the food security that I have done actually already. When I was with San Miguel, then what we call as FLD, Feeds and Livestock Division. But because of internal conflict, or what we call as corporate politics, I was eased out, to sound very diplomatic. And if I may say, ladies and gentlemen, the 50,000 na Manileños na parating gutom can balloon all the way. Ang estimate ko to, hindi ako masyadong sigurado pa dito, no? It can go all the way to about 350,000. Pero susundin natin yung budget cycle, susundin natin yung tinatawag na sistema para naman mabayaran yung kinain ng ating mga Manileños, at paikot ng paikot yan. At sabi nga ni Senator Bam Aquino sa education, no, yung budget ng education ay hindi dapat galawin. There is a way to develop an endless cycle of replenishing back the budget. So sabi ko nga sa aking mga fellow economists sa Harvard, sa Oxford, all the way to the great Mario Draghi, the new norm in economics would be no longer S equals I, savings equals investment. That is completely passé. The new norm now, the new way to sustain endless economic growth would be C, cost equals revenue. And I will explain that in very simple mathematics and extremely complicated mathematics, hopefully to be assisted by our decade of the CEO in the United States of America, none other than Mr. Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. because we will use all the best methods of mathematics that will be put in a special type of software. I don't call it software anymore. It's a systemized AI system that will make it easy for Filipino Manileños na hindi ka na kailangan humingi sa gobyerno. Ito automatic na ito. Yung tinatawag na joint venture between the government of Mayor Isko Moreno and my very own company, Midwestern Business Advisors LLC Consulting Division. So hindi ka kailangan umasa kay nano. Baka manano ka, no? You trust people that can deliver what they say. You trust people that isang tawag mo lang, 405-503-8511, nandyan ako. I-explain ko na yan at i-demonstrate ko para maliwanag ang supply side economics ng mga nabanggit kong mga produkto. So, we have a very short time to discuss now the next topic. Sad to say, we are being fooled by certain number of Filipinos here, like Wendell Armanagat, and I don't know if we have the established fact that a person by the name of Donald R. Kincaid faked his death certificate and even is fooling right now our great U.S. Vice President, J.D. Vance. So I'd like to be very, very clear. So regarding Oscar Reyes-Sañez and Tefe Nano, if you would like to call me right now so you could explain what your role here is in the United States, my telephone number is 405-503-8511 so we can make sure that we are on the same page. Because it seems to me that all you do is extort information from my two private home offices. One is at 8101 Westwood Circle, Oklahoma City, zip code 73127, and the other one is at 9200 Northwest 71st Street, Yukon, Oklahoma 73099. So, ito, tinataya ko dito, President BBM, ang aking reputasyon. The food security in the Philippines has already been sold. In fact, I did it in Region 1. Nagawa na yan. And then pinasukan nga ako nito si Frankie Cornejo. Ewan ko kung kilala, anak ko niya si Denise Cornejo, but that's, hindi ko linya yan, yung entertainment side, no? Linya ni ni La Cornejo yan, no? I don't know what he did. Okay? And by the way, I would like to be very, very clear. The reason why the BMEG feed plant in Caloocan, Balintawak, Caloocan, okay, was moved to Region 1, hindi Bulacan, ha? Region 1, sa mga Ilocano. Dahil ang mga Ilocano ang sumuporta sa BMEG feeds during my time. And that was done no less than by, in my opinion, during that time, the greatest CEO in Asia by the name of Andres. Andy is his nickname, or is fondly called Soriano III. So I'd like to be very clear to all the Filipinos. Food security can be done tomorrow morning. Kung aasa ka kay Tefe Nano, Oscar Reyes-Sañez, Francisco Butchalejo, palagay ko, umasa ka sa tubig. Kung aasa ka kay Gabi ang pangalan sa Manila, Bautista, garantisado ko sa iyo, bukas lang ng umaga tapos na yung problemang yan. Sundan lang yung sistema. Okay? Because I have been used by these people like anything. Ginamit ang maganda kong pangalan. at sinira ang aking pangalan sa kumpanyang nagngangalang Procter and Gamble sa Cincinnati. But now Cincinnati knows the truth. No less than John Mueller, surrogates, I met last week, a week and a half ago. Nalaman niya na niloko siya. Niloko ang Procter and Gamble, Cincinnati na mga ito. And that's why the Filipinos, would you say, sad to say, are still called monkeys. Monkeys, mga inggoy. Bakit? Lalabas ako dito, nandun na naman, sunod ng sunod. Hindi naman na, sabi ko nga sa inyo, Alfred and Arthur T., by the end of the day, wala na naman. Nothing again happens. They're like monkeys. Ano, sunod lang ng sunod. Kopya ng kopya. And then at the end of the day, wala na naman. And then here comes a guy, even faking his death certificate. And the evidences will be shown. Don't you worry. We are all based on evidence here. And that's why I would like to be very clear to Vice President J.D. Vance, the very great Vice President J.D. Vance. We are already projecting, we are the first to project that you will be nominated as the next President of the United States, together with the greatest Secretary of State. I'm referring to none other than the one, the only, Mr. Marco Rubio. But again, this is all subject to speculation, obviously. But if the elections were held today, that would be the current tandem. So I would like to cut this short because of the fact that we will have a video exclusively for the solving of the American $36 trillion deficit, which I was remiss. My mistake. I will openly tell you that this was my mistake and there was a big delay. All because I was sabotaged by the Chinese. Okay? Excuse me. So, I will be rushing these documents and I will be guaranteeing you when I will deliver it, and I think I will deliver it to Governor Stitt's office so that it will not be stolen again. Because I know it's going to be stolen. Okay? So, hang tight. We have the solution. It's complicated mathematics, but I'd like to give you a bird's eye view on what this system is all about. First of all, cost equals revenue. What does that mean? There are so many types of costs in operating a government. If the cost structure is wrong, the revenue will not happen. There are indirect costs that will achieve a certain revenue for the government. The government will not only earn taxes. That is common knowledge. Everybody knows about that. There are new ways where the government, I'm referring to the U.S. government, will earn a certain amount of revenue every second. Every second. And that is based on a defined, well-defined cost structure. There are so many types of costs, not just the stupid variable cost, fixed cost, and whatever cost you learn in standard accounting. Those days are gone. In fact, it will make you poor. Okay? There are new costs that will equate to sustained revenue. And if the cost structure is right, we can create a budget system that will pay for any amount of deficit. Any amount, including that 36 trillion. So there will be a forecast and there will be a reunion of Donald Trump, of President Trump, and Tesla superstar Elon Musk. Because the budget system is wrong again. Okay? The budget system is all wrong. It's not only wrong, but it has destroyed so many government relationships, not only in America, but more so in Europe. And of course, the Philippines. That's the main issue, the budget. It's wrong. It's not only wrong, but it is destructive. And then the most important thing is the induced demand curve. We know everything already about supply side economics. It works. The new thing is the induced demand curve. I'd like to leave you at that, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, suggestions you want to make a sponsorship, let me know, because we are talking to several financial institutions and banking institutions that will be our main sponsors, and we might have no more space for other sponsors. So again, this will be the #1 financial channel in the world, okay? Because we will be having guests, the best. We only deal with the best, and we only deal from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 topics, you know. Other than that, you know, we don't deal with personal issues here, you know. So, if you want to be a sponsor, give us a call immediately and we'll respond. We will give you our very, very competitive rates. And our callback number in this Prosperity channel at Gavin Bautista, latest updates 91.com is 405-503-8511. And my email address, if you have something confidential out there, you could email me anytime at superdeals1494@gmail.com. Again, thank you. My apologies to my millions of fans in California, in the United States mainland, in Western Europe, and of course, in Asia. My apologies. This will never happen again because we already have a team that will make sure the lighting effects and other effects, sound effects, are properly in order every single day, because our Prosperity channel is nonstop from Monday to Sunday. Good night from Oklahoma City, the home of the Thunders. This is Gavin Bautista signing off, and give us a like and subscribe at our YouTube channel, Gavin Bautista, at Gavin Bautista, latest updates 91.com.